Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om to everyone. Hope you had a pleasant day and hope you're able to put the philosophy into practice. Yes. Remember, there are two words Krishna tells Arjuna in the Gita. He says, Gyan Vigyan. Gyan is knowledge. Vigyan, you put the knowledge into practice and it transforms from knowledge into realized knowledge. Yes. So we want to realize the philosophy again and again. If I met you the first time and you've never tasted honey before, and I describe it, oh, it's golden, it's smooth, it's sweet. That's knowledge, yes? You will never know what real honey is until you open the jar, put your finger in it, taste it. That's realized knowledge. So as we study the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, the Yoga Sutras, we get knowledge, but we want to experience it, put it into practice. So, Gyan Vigyan. So, we're at this point. Krishna is about to leave Hastinapur, and we have these amazing ladies on the rooftops. They're royal princesses and queens, and they're looking down and they're seeing this. Krishna is there, but he's leaving, so their bhakti, right, is coming out. And they're just talking. One is saying this, he created the universe, he created the three modes of nature. Another one is saying, oh, how fortunate are those who live in Dwarka, those who fortunately live in Vrindavan and Mathura. Oh, Arjuna became his best friend. So they're just in love seeing Krishna, and they're hoping he will stay in New Delhi, stay in Dwarka, in Hastinapur, but he's getting prepared to leave, so that's where we're at. Chapter 10, Krishna, departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. And we left off at mantra 28, I think, 28. No, we did 28, 29. We understand the Krishna had his wives, right? And we're learning about the Mahabharata breaks it down, and in 10th canto of the Bhagavatam breaks down the whole story, how Krishna married the 16,108 wives, right? So there's just this, he killed this demon who captured these 16,000 wives. And after he killed the demons, the wives were praying to Krishna, please, I want to be your wife. They didn't pray to Krishna to be Krishna's mother or Krishna's servant or Krishna's friend. They were praying to Krishna to be his wife, right? Amazing. Wow, I don't want to marry him, I want to marry you. Sometimes that happens in the material world, but it's from one material person to another material person, right? Sometimes in India you see, because in India they have these arranged marriage sometimes, right? Oh, no. But these ladies, they don't want to marry someone material. They want to marry divinity, God, spiritual. So that's where we're at. So let's go to mantra 30. Ita param strivatam apaspaleshalam nirasta shaucham bala sadhuko vale yasham grihat pushkara lochana patir najatya abhitya ahitube hridish prishan. Translation, Srila Prabhupada translates. All these women auspiciously glorified. So all these women who were captured by the demon, right? They who captured them and hid them in a cave. So all these women auspiciously glorified their lives despite their being without individuality, mean they weren't single because they were captured, and without purity, right? They weren't like the Virgin Mary or right, right? It says their husband, the lotus-eyed personality of Godhead, because Krishna married them, never left them alone at home. He always pleased their hearts by making valuable presentations. So this is such a amazing story because they were being captured, they were being exploited by a demon, and yet they were so evolved in their heart. They prayed to be God's wife. So these are not ordinary souls. And this mantra, the ladies are saying that it doesn't matter what is your past. If you are filled with devotion in the heart, doesn't matter what, whatever your past was, you can still become a wife of God. Amazing, right? Later on, we'll hear different amazing yoginis as well. They had some challenging upbringing and they became amazing. Krishna came and helped them. 10th canto of the Bhagavatam explains these stories in much, much more detail. Let's continue. The heart getting purified. 31. Evam Veda Gadantinam Sagira Pura Yoshitam Nirakshanena Bindandan Sasmitena Yayohari. While the ladies of the capital of Hastinapur were greeting him and talking in this way, the Lord, smiling, accepted their good greetings, and casting the grace of his glance over them, he departed from the city. So, as they were talking, Krishna acknowledged their prayers, their worship, and he glanced at them and he prepared to leave. So, you must do something very right for God to look at you. And you must do something very bad for God to come and eliminate you. So Prabhupada and the Parampara says, do not be a demon. No, we don't want God to come and kill us. Let's become a devotee. Let's fall in love with devotion. So when God comes, it's out of love, not out of fear. Because when he comes, he kills demons, right? That's one of the things he does. So yes, we want to be able to pray to God, to attract God, and we can get purified, right? When we practice yoga, or just human life, not even the word yoga, just to be in this material world, it doesn't matter which planet we're on, the soul is going to experience happiness and distress in this material world. The soul is going to experience challenges. So then naturally in the soul, wait, who am I? What is this universe? What is my destination? What is the goal of my life? Doesn't matter which planet we're on. So in yoga culture, we have a destination. Yes. And we have a roadmap. Or today we have a, what you call it? You go GPS, right? If you want to drive from New York to LA, New York to Miami, you can do it if you follow the roadmap. But someone that tells us, if we follow the map, who followed a GPS before in this life? All of us, yes? So that tells us someone did it before us. And we are trusting the faith in that person that if I follow this map, I will get from here to there. So in the yoga culture, it's the same thing. When we're in this universe, the Bhagavatam is not just a GPS for the Earth planet. No. The Bhagavatam is going to tell us about different planetary systems. It's a GPS for the whole universe. And it's given us a clue of this force that's in our heart, that force, and we put a name on that force. What do we call that force coming from here? Because we live with it every day. That's the Lord in the heart, but I'm looking for a force coming out of your soul. An English word. We put an English word on it.
Love.
Thank you, Jared. That's love, right? That force of love. We live with it every day. We're either loving our partner, loving our pets, loving our plants, loving something, right? Because we heard about those 5 relationships in the last class, right? We have the neutral, right? Yogi Charu uses a yoga mat. So I have a love for them. That's a neutral relationship. Someone uses a car, right? Those are neutral things. Then friendship. So that force of love moves the living entity around the universe. And where are we redirecting that love? So the yogis teach that throughout the universe, you might send that love here, there, but that love will really be satisfied or reach the pinnacle when it reaches the creator of this universe. So that is the whole yoga culture in a nutshell, because we want to fall in love with God, right? It's so we know humans on the planet have incomplete, most of us have incomplete love for God. That's why we're still in the material world. We can see, right? We meet religious people. Yes, I love God. I hate those people over there. I'm going to kill them. So it's not that they don't have love in their heart, it's just incomplete. Me, you, all of us, we have incomplete love for God. So every day is an opportunity for that love to go wider, grow, grow, grow. And so when you were reading stories like these ladies, oh wow, they transcended the 3 modes of material nature. They're master. God is glancing at them. God is embracing them. It's like, whoa, okay, that's where we can go with our force of love. Let's continue to our next mantra. Mantra 32. Ajata Shatru Pritanam Gopitaya Madhu Dvisha Parebhya Shankitai Snehat Prayunta Chatur Anginim. Now, the king is Yudhishthira, Arjun's eldest brother, Maharaj Yudhishthira. So another name for king in Sanskrit is Maharaj. Right? So you might meet an Indian man. What's your name? Maharaj. Sometimes I give them these names. Or sometimes in the Bhakti community, we refer to a Swami as Maharaj. Hello, Maharaj. How are you? But the Maharaj in the Bhakti community has a slightly different meaning. Srila Prabhupada explains, it's not just the king. Maharaj in the Bhakti community means king, controller of the senses. This is when we refer to someone who has very beautiful control of their senses. They become a king of the senses. Rishikesha. Krishna helps them to use their senses in moderation, Maharaj. And then the terminology, if you go to different provinces over India, the king of Rajasthan, Maharaj, the king of this place, Maharaj this, right? When the British was ruling India, they would get all the Maharajas to come to Calcutta and to rule the country like that through the kings. One king didn't show up. The king of Udaipur. And the chair is still there, right? Empty seat. It's in the museum in Calcutta still today. That king never went because he never bowed down to the to the queen. He said, no. I'm a representative from this long lineage. I am going to revolt. So up to today, it's still there. And similarly, we have Prabhupada's guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. The British established their universities and stuff. And Prabhupada's guru was the best student. Amazing. gifted. So after he took all his astronomy tests and everything, he renounced it. And I said, hey, we have a place for you here. His chair is still there in the museum because he didn't go. He renounced his education to go live like a bhakta, a devotee of God, a sadhu. And he got another name. Because he wasn't born in like the Maharaj, royal king, but he eventually got the title Maharaj because he was not just a king of a country, he was a king of the senses. Maharaj. So Maharaj Yudhishthira, King Yudhishthira, although no one's enemy. It's amazing, right? He had no one's enemy because why doesn't he have an enemy? Anyone can answer?
Everyone liked him.
Everyone liked him. One, yes, that's true. Another one, Jenny?
He is most humble.
He's most humble. That's true. Anyone else? Krishna worked through him and Arjuna to kill all the demons. The battle, right? So after they kill all the demons, everyone on the planet, oh wow, they saw how he ruled. He ruled in a humble manner. He ruled with intelligence, so everyone loved him. So he had no enemies. But still, look what he did. He says here, although no one's enemy, engaged 4 divisions of defense, horse, elephant, chariot, and army to accompany Lord Krishna. The enemy of the Asuras, the demons. So Krishna is considered the enemy of the Asuras because Krishna comes to remove the demoniac mentality from the planet, remove the demoniac mentality from our minds. The Maharaj did this because of the enemy and also out of affection to Lord Krishna. So the Krishna plays the perfect role. When Krishna is a little boy, his mother is putting on little kaja on his eyes to prevent him from getting sick. His mother is giving him medicine so he doesn't get sick. He doesn't need it. He's God, but he plays the perfect role. So here, Yudhishthira, just to set a beautiful example, how to protect someone who you love. So as Krishna is leaving, there's no enemies already. He already gave him elephants, horses, and army to go with Krishna to the barricade so that he won't get attacked by anyone. But that's just out of love because Krishna doesn't need any protection. But it's just, this is how he's reciprocating with King Yudhishthira. And we do it, right? In our culture today, right? Whenever you meet someone from any country, from the royal families, any presidents, right? Every president, prime minister around the country, around the planet, when they travel with their military, right? They travel with the army, I see. Like, even in my country, the prime minister, right? Whenever he travels, he always has the bodyguards with him. And that's in the constitution, right? They get protected because you never know. There might be people who don't like them. So we have to protect the leader. So we see it even here. Yudhishthira is doing it for Krishna. Krishna doesn't need it, but he accepts it out of love. So when you offer something to God, God will accept it if you offer it with love. This force, yes. Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. I don't need flowers. I created all the flowers in the universe. I don't need water. I created all the oceans and clouds and rains and waterfalls. I don't need leaves. I created it. But if someone loves me and they offer fruit, a flower, water, with devotion, bhaktya, then I will accept it. So that you can see Krishna is accepting Yudhishthira's love. He's not accepting the army. He doesn't need it. But because Yudhishthira is doing it out of love, and when you do something out of love, it means you don't need anything in return. Yes? Just out of love. Right? So then what happens? God reciprocates with us out of love. So it's a fine line, right? How do you pray to God, or how do you give something to God out of love, and just leave it up to God? And then if God reciprocates with you, great. If not, also great, because you're doing it out of love. So this is bhakti yoga. This is the yoga of the heart, yoga of the consciousness. So Krishna accepted it. So I see, leave, okay, I'll follow the king. The king is doing that. And it's amazing. Krishna is the creator of the universe, but he established Yudhishthira as the king. So he's following the king's directions. And we heard earlier, when Krishna met Arjun, he embraced Arjun. But when he met Yudhishthira, what did he do to Yudhishthira? A few mantras ago.
He bowed down.
He bowed down to the king because he was younger than the king, in just playing the role. And then when he met Nakul and Sahadev, the two twins, the younger than him, they bowed down to him. So it's the etiquette. He's just showing us how to live in this universe. So, okay, the king, okay, out of love, I'll reciprocate with you. So let's refine our lifestyle. Do everything we can. Yaj Jahosi Dadasya Yat. Whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever you think, do it as an act of love for me. And that will allow us to follow the roadmap, and not only get to the end of this universe, but we will transcend this universe and enter the spiritual domain and join the entourage of Krishna in the spiritual world. Let's go to our next mantra. Mantra 33. Atadarangatan shauri korat vanam vishartanonam sanishvatyo judam snigdan prayat swanagrarim priyai. Srila Prabhupada translates. Out of profound affection for Lord Krishna, the Pandavas, who were of the Kuru dynasty, accompanied him a considerable distance to see him off. They were overwhelmed with the thought of future separation. The Lord, however, persuaded them to return home, and he proceeded towards the Dwarka with their companions. So in Belize, when I grew up, I would see this, right? Because sometimes someone had to catch the bus to go to another village, right? And so people will walk for like 2-3 miles, then goodbye, I'll walk the next 2-3 miles to the bus stop, right? And it's just out of love, and the love is, oh, we're here to protect you, but no, it's okay, it's fine, no, I can go the distance. So I saw when I experienced this growing up as a child. Anyone else had an experience like this where you're growing up, or maybe even now, where you can see where family members, they don't want to separate, and then they walk. No, okay, you can go back. Anyone else?
A
Greg?
lot of times at the airport, I see, frequently you see people so sad to be parting ways.
Yes.
Or they hold hands all the way through to TSA up until the last bit they're hugging and everything at the TSA check. Only at the last they separate.
Yes.
So at the
Perfect.
airport, I guess you see it where
the
people
airport.
have to separate.
You have to separate. I'm so glad you said, because in places like, where was I? I was in Nepal recently, and the same thing. The whole village comes to say goodbye to that person who is going to get that. They got a visa to go to Qatar, or they got a visa. They're going to be, it's hard labor, but they're leaving Nepal, right? So yes, that's where we see it. And it's just the affection and the tears. It's love that's creating that. Yes, that separation. Thank you, Greg. Anyone else? Vivian, you must see this regularly. And the plays, right? cried, leaving their loved ones behind. It's amazing what the force of love can do.
I'll share one. So I was off to tennis camp, but young adult, like I could travel sort of by myself.
Yeah.
And my father took me for the last minute onto the Amtrak train, and the train leaves the station. And all of a sudden I see my father on the train. He didn't get off.
Oh, really? He came with you?
And he had to take it. The next stop was far, not in Massachusetts from New York, but far enough that, and as a teenager, I was just like so embarrassed. I was like, look at my father right here. So.
Yeah. And then he took the next stop, go back.
Yeah. Then he had to say goodbye.
Yeah, so this is act of love, right? The love that's there. So you can see the Pandavas, they walked with Krishna, Arjuna, Nakul. They didn't want that. Then Krishna said, no, this is enough now. You can return, you can go now. And then so this is bhakti. This is what, and the soul is yearning for this. The soul loves these experiences, these exchanges. Deep down, our soul doesn't love violence. Our soul doesn't love anger and frustration. The soul really just resonates with love. And we know love is the first emotion coming out of the soul, that vibration. And then it gets distracted into secondary or tertiary emotions, frustration, anger. The parent loves the child. Tell the child, don't do this. The child does the opposite. The next emotion, anger. So, but that force of love, right? That's what's moving us. As we become a spiritually evolved being, this force of love come out again and again and again. Next mantra. Mantra 34, 35. Kuru Jangala Panchalan Shareshenam Sayamunan Brahmavartam Kurukshetram Matsyan Sarasvatan Ata Marudan Vanu Atikramya Sovrabira Yopadan Anartan Bhagrava Pakjit Chandlavato Monag Vibhu. Translation, O Shanaka. So remember, so now who's speaking here is the old yogi. He's called Sutta Goswami. And he's answering the yogis in the forest. And the leader of the forest, the yogi, is Sanaka Rishi. So he's retelling these stories, right? So as they ask questions, he's answering. So he says, O Shanaka, all the yogis in the forest, the leader. The Lord then proceeded towards Kuru Jangala, Panchala, Surashena, the land on the bank of the river Yamuna, Brahmavarta, Kurukshetra, Matsya, Sarasvata, the province of the desert, and the land of scanty water. After crossing these provinces, he gradually reached the Sauriva and Abhira provinces. Then west of these reached Dwarka at last. So if you look at the map of India, you see where New Delhi is, will be here. Dwarka will be northwest of it. So Krishna traveled through those provinces. And a lot of these names got changed because this is North India. So a lot of these names got changed when the Mughals conquered India, right? Anything with Bad, Ahmedabad. These are all the Mughals, the Muslims. When they conquered India, Genghis Khan when they came in. So they changed a lot of the northern names. So you can see. So now in India they're trying to change the names back to the traditional names, but they got conquered so many times. Now they're trying to change the British names back to the Sanskrit names, right? Because they were conquered by Britain as well. So when I got to India the first time, it had a British name. It was called Calcutta. Now it's Kolkata. Then when I traveled west with my friends, we went to Bombay. Now it's Mumbai. So a lot of the names have changed recently. They're trying to bring it back to the traditional names that were there. So you go to a place like Hyderabad, Ahmedabad. These are all names which were brought. The Muslim rulers changed those names. And so now they're trying to bring it back to the ancient. They don't even want to call it India now. What are they calling it now? They're trying, but I think India is just like so stuck in the consciousness. So now they're trying to call it the original name of that part of the land. What was it called? Anyone?
Parrot.
Bharat, yes. So Bharata, and it's from the King Bharat. We'll read about King Bharat in Canto 5. So the planet was called Bharat Varsha. So they're trying to, but I think it's hard to get that name India out of her psyche. It's in there, right? So a lot of the names, and it's just names, right? So when you read the Vedas, you won't find Hindu in it. You won't find India in it, because these are names which were just brought along. So when you read the Bhagavatam, it's beyond, before they were conquered. So you won't find Ahmedabad in the Bhagavatam. You won't find Hyderabad. When you meet some Indians, we're from Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, right? Okay, then you have to first ask, okay, which part? Oh, this was the name before, right? And then it just goes back, and then you start to learn, oh, Bharat, the land of King Bharat, Bharat Varsha. So let's go, mantra. Oh, last mantra for the chapter. Tatra tatra hatatra yai hari pratyudanyandana sayam beje disham paschad gavishto gamgatastada. On his journey through these provinces, he was welcomed, worshipped, and given various presentations. In the evening, in all places, the Lord suspended his journey to perform evening rites. This was regularly observed after sunset. So wherever he went, as they were traveling through the provinces, people were going, oh, this is Krishna. And again, not anyone get to see who God is. So this tells us those people in the provinces must have done a lot of spiritual work to have Krishna come to their province. And Krishna says in the Gita, whatever a great man does, right? Yada yada hi dharmasya. Whatever great actions a great man does, common people will follow. So Krishna would travel, and then in the evening time, what would he do? The Muhurta, we call it Rudra Muhurta. Rudra, the Shiva Muhurta. The sun is setting. So it's about 30 minutes before the sunset and about an hour after sunset. It's a beautiful time to see the sunset, because when the sun goes down, the clouds are still red and bright. Beautiful moment. So that's the yoga time. And that's another, we call it in yoga, it's another vortex, a time when the portal to go deep into our spiritual practice. So in yoga, we have 3 muhurtas. The morning muhurta, before the sunrise, we call that Brahma Muhurta. Yes, Lord Brahma, Brahma Muhurta. Muhurta, Muhurta. Muhurta, Brahma Muhurta is the morning time. So the yogis get up, greeting the sun, do their morning sadhana. Then midday, Vishnu Muhurta, right? When the sun is straight over, Vishnu Muhurta. Not a time for meditation. Some people, oh, Yogi Charu, I can't get up in the morning to meditation. Then do it in midday. Yogi Charu, I'm working midday. Okay, then do it at least once a day. Then do it Rudra Muhurta. Rudra is the evening time. Shiva, another name for Lord Shiva is Rudra. Rudra Muhurta. So Krishna shows, and the Pandavas, all of them lived by it. Everyone who lived in the Vedic culture, right? All the Brahmins, chant mantras in the morning, midday, sunset, right? To respect. And Krishna would show how to do it. He didn't need to do it. He's God, but he's showing, teaching us how to keep our mind peaceful. So when I teach meditation, I like to invite people to do their meditation sandwich, right? Morning and evening. But in the West, right? My teachers would say, okay, at least half a sandwich. Right? At least one. Either it's in the morning or in the evening. We're not living in an ashram, right? So in an ashram, you see, it's morning, midday, evening. It's amazing. Sandhya Arti, Mangal Arti, middle day Arti, right? They're there. The time to worship and connect to spirituality. So we get a glimpse of it. Let's utilize our vibration. And even someone who doesn't practice or don't study any spiritual philosophy, if they live in nature like our ancestors did, they would get up with the sun and be in the wow. And then they'd watch the sunset. Wow. Right? They were in tune with these portals, these moments, right? Very beautiful. So a lot of times I meet people, they don't tell you they're a Surya worshiper. They just say, yeah, I love sunrise, I love sunset. When I hear that, I'm like, oh yeah, you're worshiping the portals with your mind unknowingly, right? It's beautiful. It's amazing. So if you get those opportunities where you can see a sunrise, see a sunset, take advantage of it. It will trigger a question in your consciousness. Wow, who created this? I think that's one of Mahatma Gandhi's in his biography. He says, whenever I see a beautiful sunset, I always question, the person who created this must be very beautiful. Right? So that's God, right? Krishna, remember the translation for the word Krishna means all attractive. We get attracted as parts and parcel of God. We have some of God's qualities. So, we meet painters, art painters. People get attracted to them because God is working through them. Who's a famous painter that God loved, that everyone is attracted to? Anyone? Painter?
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci, good. Let's hear an intelligent person in the scientific world. Anyone? Everyone is attracted to him or her.
Tesla.
Louis Pasteur.
Louis Pasteur. Good. What did you say, Haridas?
Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla, right? Ahead of his time. Everyone's attracted to their work. Let's see. Medicine. Anyone? Medicine? We live. Who discovered penicillin? Right?
Louis Pasteur.
Yeah, you get attracted the knowledge. Let's see. So we are attracted, right? So everyone dance, right? If I was to ask Yvonne, who's dance? She wouldn't say, yeah, who's dance, Yvonne?
So many.
So many. Let's choose one. Okay, I can't pronounce that name, but that's a Russian name. Right? But yes, music, right? Right. And if God working through that person, we get attracted to that soul. Now, those souls, they might have one gift in one way, but don't have gifts in other ways. But Krishna means all attractive, right? Wow, this is God. All attractive. So whenever I meet someone who God is working through them, it's like, oh, wow, why are you attracted to this person intellect? Why are you attracted to this person artwork? Why are you attracted to this person, their spiritual evolution, right? we just see we had the Pope who transitioned just now. He was a spiritual guide for millions of people, right? And so many people are attracted. Why? That devotion to God, right? Amazing. So in the yoga culture, everyone's attracted. Anyone you get attracted to, see God working through them. Then you'll get to the root cause of everything that's attractive. Krishna, that's God. Yeah. In Hawaii, what are we very attracted to? Greg?
Yeah, I don't know. Today's Lay Day or surfing.
Yes.
Let me see.
I think everyone in Hawaii we love either for surfing, it's either Duke or he run for politics eventually as well. Or what's our surf from Maui? What's his name? He moved to Hawaii. Famous surfer who was the lifeguard.
Oh, Eddie Aikau, maybe?
Eddie Aikau, right?
I think so.
Everyone is attracted because he used to save. That's an amazing story. He saved over 1,000 people's lives, right? He's a lifeguard who saved so many. So people are attracted to that type of being. So yes, these are we're attracted to them. You should know that it's God's working through them. And then, what kind of flowers are people attracted to, right? Everyone has a certain flower they're attracted. That's the beauty of God coming out. Let's meditate on these mantras as we come to an end of chapter 10. Stretch the legs out. Wiggle the ankles. Cross the legs back. Palms on the knees. Touch the tip of the thumbs, tip of the index fingers. Close the eyes softly. Bring the whole body into stillness. Bring your awareness to the breath. And just watch the breath with awe. Wow. I ignore you, but you never ignore me. And this breath takes us through the 3 muhurtas. I want you to connect to a time when you meditated before the sunrise, or you went for a walk just to greet the sun. Just walking, meditating, greeting the sun. In the yoga culture, we do our pujas or meditations then. And remember a time when midday, the sun was overhead and you had an amazing experience in this life at midday. Contemplate. Maybe something happened very positive. And then remember a time when you made an effort to see the sunset. Or maybe you did a puja at sunset. The beautiful saffron globe going down. These 3 portals, times, exist in our life every day. So if you miss one today, you can do it tomorrow. As you appreciate the timings, we start to connect with the love with the sun, love with the earth, love with the moon. That force of love leads back to the creator of this universe. The all-attracted Lord. Remember a time in this life when you saw love, family members, separation? At the airport, you saw people waving, hugging. An experience you had with your friends and family, that force of bhakti. Know that force of love, your family members are just trying to protect you, care for you. And when we go back to the spiritual world, that will multiply thousands upon thousands of times, the soul with God's entourage. That is the GPS of the Bhagavatam to how to get back to the spiritual world where we originally came from. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale slowly. Breath to normal. Bring the palms to the heart. Lower the brain towards your higher self, towards the Lord in the heart. Namaste. Lift the head, open the eyes. And over the weekend, don't be surprised. You might see some family members separating somewhere. That is love. That is bhakti. Be amazed by it, yes? Mahalo Babadi. Thank you, Haraldji. Thank you, Helene. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Sally. Mahalo, Greg.
Yogi
Thank you,
Charu, I have a
Vivian.
question for you.
Sorry?
I have a question.
Yes.
In a few minutes.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that we get attracted to a person, and he or she, the God works through her or him, right? But then a lot of people get attracted to someone like a Hitler or someone who did a lot of harm.
Yeah.
And they were supported by those people. So can you apply that God works through him? Because they would want to believe that theory themselves, right?
So you can remember at the beginning of the class I said you can act in a way where God comes to you with love, or if you're a demon, God will also come. But the Vaishnava, devotees, want to attract God through love. So nothing in this world is beyond God's knowledge. So when someone is demoniac, it means they got covered with the mode of tamas, the mode of ignorance. Who created the mode of ignorance? God. So he knows the pralaya is just a play. And when God comes and kills them, they get liberated as well, right? Now, as far as we know, Krishna didn't incarnate to kill Hitler. So Hitler has to go through many births and death to get purified, right? And yeah, so people, when depending on the mode of nature they're in, they will love evil. They will love rajas. They'll love divinity, depending on the modes. So it's still that force of love moving them, but it just needs to get purified. And that's why right there it says these ladies, they were captured, but they got purified from all of that. So every soul can get purified and go back to the spiritual world. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Yvonne. Hari Om. Have a beautiful weekend. Cheers.